Time now for Sid Sixero. This is where I get 60 seconds to talk about anything. Start the clock. Here's what's on my mind this morning. When you were a kid, did someone ever say, go to your room and think about what you did? It's always a sobering moment because at even a tender age, you had to face reality, evaluate where you are. The Maple Leafs have spent the last 4 days thinking about what they did or didn't do over the last 6 games, losing 5 of them. The Leafs then went to their rooms, so to speak, after their last game this past Sunday in Ottawa. 4 days off. Nothing to occupy themselves with their thoughts and practices and the constant buzzing of Leafs social media. The good news, Toronto's still in first place. The bad news, they're tied with Edmonton after last night. Matthews and company get back at it this evening at home against Calgary. Then tomorrow night, hockey night in Canada against Calgary again. This is the most important stretch of the Leafs season. What are they? A first place team? Or something else? It'll be fascinating to watch them over these last 26 games face their reality. What say you, Toronto Maple Leafs? What say you? Joining us now from Hockey Night in Canada, the one and only Rick Astley. Kyle Bukauskas is joining us. I wasn't going to go there. Half the room went there, Kyle.
It's too early for this.
It is way too early. You were kind enough to join me. He's also one of the most talented broadcasters in the country, aside from the fact that he is a doppelganger for the classic Astley. I can't wait to see, Kyle, back to the business at hand. I can't wait to see how the Leafs come out of this 4-day break. How do you think they'll come out of the 4-day break?
Well, probably with some energy, right? You would hope. I mean, they've been a team that was, one of the busier clubs around the NHL when they hit their break on Sunday night. They finish a back-to-back over the weekend. I think, as we've reflected, I guess, this week with them on a bit of a break, this is a good offensive team. When they finished that set in Edmonton there where they sweep a couple of weeks ago, Sid, at that point they were on pace for 130 points over an 82-game season, and their shooting percentage was up there. I mean, there's bound to be some regression at some point, and for it to be coming, so abruptly, obviously it's cause for a bit of pause. This is, a better defensive team. They're not great. For me right now, I think the only real concern is goaltending. The .900 save percentage for Frederik Andersen, that's going to be a huge focal point, and how healthy will Jack Campbell be as things move forward?
If you're the GM of this hockey team, Kyle Dubas, does this next couple of weeks decide some things for you? Or based on what we heard this week, are we all of the opinion Dubas is going to look to make a move between now and the deadline, April 12th?
I think that's a given, Sid, because, let's face it. So they've got 11 games before the trade deadline, I believe, when you mentioned on April 12th. But this is also a situation where if you're looking at bringing in someone from the United States, there's still the 14-day quarantine.
Correct.
So the push to act sooner rather than later is clearly evident. And you heard Kyle Dubas talk about that earlier this week. So I don't think there's so much so as watching, what happens over the next little while and then make a decision. I think the wheels are already in motion to try to find an upgraded forward for Kyle Dubas.
Quickly, before we let you go, which team should the Leafs be more concerned about? And two of them played against each other last night. Is it the Oilers or is it the Jets?
I think so long as Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are on the same team,
True.
That's the team that concerns you the most. But, man, I've got a lot of time, a lot of respect for Paul Maurice, Connor Hellebuyck, and what they're doing in Winnipeg. As a whole, I think they may have the deepest forward group, but, 1 and 2 in league scoring on the same team. I mean, you cannot sleep on those guys, especially with the way they're starting to wake up of late.
Kyle Bukauskas, never going to let you down. Never going to give you up. Never going to turn around. What's the line?
We've all heard it, yeah.
Desert you. He's also one of the best broadcasters in the country, Kyle Bukauskas, Hockey Night in Canada. Thanks, buddy. Love you.
Great to see you, man. Love you, too.
Again, Sportsnet tonight, Sportsnet tomorrow, Leafs, Flames. Big games for the Leafs. Big sound off coming up. You sound off. What habits have you picked up during the pandemic that you will keep? I'm sure there's a few. 1-866-267-3797. Mel and myself will be taking your calls here momentarily. Email feedback@breakfasttelevision.ca and tweet at us constantly 24/7 @BreakfastTV. Good morning, Toronto. It's 6:45 on a Friday. Hoo-ha. This is